All right, it hasn't been confirmed, but it's looking like Jake Paul versus AJ, Anthony Joshua in December, maybe on Netflix. Uh, that'll be a big watch fight because AJ's a real fighter. He's won real championships. AJ is tough. I know people have been worried about AJ's chin in the past, but we don't know if Jake Paul's chin has ever been tested like this versus Anthony Joshua. And this may be one that satisfies both boxing fans and the whole gaming or gamers like type thing because they got the series on the zone with a lot of the guys who are famous on the internet versus the real hardcore boxing fans like people like me and you. So it's interesting. It could surpass Tyson versus Paul. Now, here's what I'm wondering: where do you have this fight at? Do you have this fight in the U.S. or do you have it in the United Kingdom? Because the United Kingdom boxing fans are crazy. So it could be in a Las Vegas, but football season is still going on. American football, that is, for all you international boxing fans. American football is the number one sport in America, no matter what. Boxing used to be, but American football has been on top for like the last half decade. Excuse me, half century. So I think it makes more sense to have this in like Wembley Stadium or something like that, because the Raider Stadium will be occupied still between UNLV and the not the Oakland, the Las Vegas Raiders. Maybe the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, but that's not as big as Wembley. That's a big place that hosts boxing. Uh, Jerry's World will still have pro NFL games. In addition to that, you got the high school football state championships, and Texas is big on high school football. That'll be in Jerry's World. So that's something to discuss for the future. But I think common sense wise, if you want to make money, if you want it to be sold out, if you want it to be a big show, and by the way, here's the one thing I do agree with Jake Paul on. He does at least put real fighters on the undercard. Like he'll put people that are ranked in certain associations or certain, boxing, like as far as hardcore boxing fans, certain boxing establishments that have been ranking fighters for years. So he will have those type of fighters on his undercards that are, seen as ranked fighters that work their way up the ladder the old school way, hard grind, etc., etc. Stuff the old school boxing fans like, right? So this should be good, but I'm thinking this has to be UK Wembley Stadium. But worldwide on Netflix, this will be a big thing to watch because AJ is not only famous around UK and in the boxing world worldwide, but Jake Paul is famous worldwide for a bunch of stuff, and obviously for boxing. And he's one of the biggest YouTubers in America and one of the biggest YouTubers in the world. So interesting. Who wants to see that? Still don't care. Still not sold. That's one I might watch. I'll watch Jake Paul versus Dagon Anthony Joshua before I will watch him versus Tank Davis. Peace.